When Amerilabs reached out and asked if I'd be interested in testing some of their resins, I jumped on the chance to review the TGM7 resin. This resin isn't new, but it's new to me, and I wish I'd known about it sooner. It's pitched at tabletop gaming, which isn't my thing, but there are two properties of this resin which have proven to be, well, totally awesome. And that's because I make functional parts, and for years I've been searching for a resin in a particular green color. Why green? Well, you'll see in just a moment. This video is not sponsored by Amerilabs, but they did send me this resin for free, and I'm not being paid to do this review. So in this video, we're talking about color and toughness, but I'm also going to talk about print finish and detail towards the end of the video. And by the way, I need to say right up front that these bottles are the best resin bottles that I've ever used. The packaging, the quality of the seal, and how the resin pours are all excellent. And the included gloves, well, that's a nice touch. So let's look at the color. I've been making this accessory for Festool track saws for a couple of years now, and the goal has always been to find a resin that matches this green color. Now you can get close with filament, but it's not the same. And filament printing, well, yeah, okay, it's good, but it's nowhere near what you can achieve with resin. Amerilabs offers TGM7 in the primary colors, and they were kind enough to send me blue and yellow, which I can mix to get green. And it just so happens that they are a cool blue and a cool yellow, which is what you need to get a nice lime green. So I started with a 50-50 mix and made adjustments from there. Then I placed each sample next to some of the tool parts to see how close I could get. I used these special scales to get the quantities just right, and in the end, it took 7 attempts to get what I think is, I think it's a really close match. I never thought that I could get this close. I'm absolutely thrilled with this result. Now, I've tried other resins, but it's never really worked out quite right. The colors just never came out with the vibrance I was looking for. You can, of course, use resin dyes, and I admit I haven't tried that, but this mix is so close. Look, I think this is the solution. But the part is pretty much useless if it's brittle and likely to break in service. So I needed to do some tests, and well, this is where I got really nervous. What if I've got this awesome color, but the resin is brittle? Now, to be a game changer, it has to be the right color and tough and durable. So this is where I had to do the hammer drop test, which is how I simulate how well the part can function in service. It doesn't need to be indestructible, but it does need to be able to handle some knocks. And this time I want to show you these tests a little bit differently so that you can see the level of anticipation and my reaction. And just before we look at those tests, I'd like to point out that these prints were about a week or so old before I smashed them, so they're not freshly printed and then tested. I really hope this works. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, come on, just do it. We'll call that one a miss, shall we? I've never felt so nervous about doing a drop test. Usually I just smash them. Okay, that was a direct hit. And it's still here. Yes, it's working. Drop test number 2. Whoa! Wow! Okay, I think that was a bit of a glancing blow. Well, that was a complete miss. Okay, so that's pretty convincing. Can you use this for tabletop gaming? Well, I don't do tabletop gaming, but gosh, if you're bashing your tabletop parts harder than what I'm bashing with this hammer, yeah, okay, well, that's some serious gaming. Here we go. Oh, another glancing blow. Okay, well, that was a double hit. It's incredible. Amerilabs, thank you. Now, look, you might be thinking, boy, this guy needs some help. He's getting excited about lime green. Yeah, well, you bet. I am getting excited about lime green because I have been working on this part, refining it, improving it, and responding to feedback over the last couple of years. And that's what you do if you're continuously trying to improve a design product. You don't just design something and then just let it go. Have a look at the color match. Yes. I would say that that is pretty close. Let's try it another time. Oh, that's so convincing. Let's try it again. Woo! I had to go looking for that one. You can see it's got some scuff marks. So you can see there, it's got some scuff marks on it. But overall, it is performing absolutely beautifully. So just in case you're wondering, that's what happens with non-toughened resin, as in resins that are not designed for tabletop gaming or any kind of impact or resistance to stresses. So let's just try this one more time, because I think if this can survive several hammer blows like this and show no signs of stress or fracture or breakage, then I think it's going to be absolutely fine for the intended purpose. Yeah, well, I think that's pretty convincing. Yes, I really am that excited. But if you've seen my other videos where I test resins from other brands, you'll know that the drop test is, well, it's not enough. In the hammer strike test, I use some extra downward force. Now, keep in mind that I'm using the same part in this test that I used in the drop test. So this part has already taken quite a beating. And check this out. It's incredible. I start off with some gentle hammer strikes, and the part shows no signs of stress. The hammer just bounces off. With each strike, I add a little bit more force, and it remains resilient. It's only when I give it a really good hit that I get the first crack. And look, even then, it's only a crack. To get any further breakage, I really have to smash it. But wait, there's more. What about the vice test? Well, by now I know I don't really need to do this test, but the vice test will give me even more insight into how this resin performs under pressure. And I mean literally under pressure. I was expecting a nasty crack and possibly also an explosion into tiny pieces. But this resin gently deforms and then cracks without any sudden failure. Even when I then compress it from another angle, it just seems to bend gently in the other direction. So by this stage, I'm just so thrilled by this resin. After a very long time searching and experimenting with other colors, I've finally found something that is just so convincing. And it's actually been around for the whole time that I've been working on this part. I've just never found it. In fact, I think it found me. Amerolabs, well, they found me. But what about print finish and detail? Well, I printed the Amerolabs Town test print using the settings provided by Amerolabs, and I'd have to say that the detail looks great. This was printed using my Anycubic D2 DLP printer, which has an XY resolution of 51 microns. Now, 51 microns isn't overly small, but it's a DLP, and look, that's a whole other discussion. But the print quality looks fantastic. But where it really counts is on the part that I actually need the resin for. And again, I'm very impressed. The supports come away really easily, and the print surface is very smooth with a nice a semi-matte finish. Now, you might think that I'm just saying all these nice things about Amerolabs because they sent me some free resin. And I can understand that, given how expensive it is. At current prices, it's about 78 euros per litre, which makes it quite expensive here in Australia. But I've got a very specific use case. I need to find just the right colour and have a resin that can withstand some punishment. Until now, I just didn't think that was possible. So if you need to print functional parts and you're also looking for resins that you can mix into a specific colour, then Amerolabs TGM7 is definitely worth a look. And whilst I'm not into tabletop gaming, I would imagine that this could work really well on small intricate parts as well. And in fact, Amerolabs has a video demonstrating that on their website, and I'd encourage you to check that out. Yes, it's expensive, but out of all the tough resins that I've tested so far, this one is by far the best for my application. Colour, toughness, durability, print quality, it's all there. There's a link in the description if you'd like to find out more and make a purchase. It is an affiliate link, but using the link doesn't cost you any more, and it helps to support the channel so that I can continue testing more resins like this one. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you can understand why this resin is such a great find for my particular application. Perhaps you might be able to get the same value out of TGM7 as I have. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. There's been a lot to cover. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.